Now that we know how radicals relate to rationals and rationals relate to radicals, we're going to start looking at evaluating some of these. So number 1 says evaluate each expression. And part of this is just going to be a review of what we actually remember. So letter A, we have the cube root of -8. Now, if you have a cube root, really what you're looking for here is it's saying you're looking for 3 of the exact same things that when I multiply them together, I get -8. So I'm first thinking, okay, 8, I could do 1 times 1 times 1, that's just 1. If I did 2 times 2 times 2, that would give me 8. So really what you're looking for here is -2 times -2 times -2. So -2 times -2 is 4, times -2 is -8. So I had to find 3 of the exact same things that multiply to get to -8. Well, that was -2. So the answer to this is -2. Now, take a look at letter C. Very similar, but this time the negative is outside. So this time, if we kind of ignore the negative which is outside, we're just looking at the cube root of 8. So this time you're looking for 3 exact things that multiply to get you 8. Well, that would be 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So the cube root of 8 is simply 2. But there's a negative out here. So you just put a negative on your answer, and your answer is -2. For these two examples, it actually turns out that they have the same answer. Let's take a look at letter B and letter D. So letter B, this time we're going to start dealing with the idea of a rational. Now, let's assume here for a minute that you don't have a calculator and you're going to use your brain. 16 to the 1/4 power, I'm kind of looking at going, I don't really know what that means, so I'm going to write it in radical form, and maybe it'll make a little bit more sense. So 16 is my base, 16 is going to go inside my root. 4 is my denominator, so 4 is going to be my root because it's at the bottom of my tree, and then 1 would be my power, but you really don't need a power of 1. So now that I'm looking at this in radical form, this is telling me, oh, I need 4 of the exact same things that multiply to get to 16. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 4 is 16. So that would mean my answer to this would be 2, because I have 4 of the exact things that multiply, 4 of the exact same number that multiply to get to 16. That number is 2. Letter D. Again, it looks very, very similar, but now we have a negative. Now, keep in mind this negative is on the inside. So because it's inside the parentheses, that means that the whole thing has to go inside. My root is still 4, my power is still 1. So now I'm looking for 4 of the exact same things that multiply to -16. So my first thought would be -2 times -2 times -2 times -2. -2 times -2 is 4. -2 times -2 is 4. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. And I wanted +16. Well, that doesn't work. So the answer is not -2. If I did a +2, I'd still get +16. Is there a way for us to multiply 4 of the exact same number and get to a negative number? And the answer is no. This cannot be done. So you can either write NA, or you can write can't be found, or you could write, some teachers have you write different things, but for us, can't be found or even undefined. You cannot find an even root of a negative number. And we'll talk about that more as we go, but for right now, I'm just going to leave it at that.